Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. So last night we were gifted with what was quite possibly the best episode of Watch What Happens Live of all time.
Oh my God, it was so good. Tom Schwartz was in the clubhouse. He was in the hot seat and he spilled an astronomical amount of tea. Andy did not hold back with his questions and Tom did not hold back with his answers. We have so many thoughts on the episode, but before we dive in, make sure you check out our Sandoval merch and our Bravo merch. I am rocking our Never Trust a Tom sweatshirt. It is so cute. It's cropped. It's boxy. It's comfy. Like, I'm literally living in it and love it so much.
So cute. And I am rocking our Bravo uniform collection. All of these come in so many different styles, so make sure you shop them at the link below. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news.
Okay, so we start Watch What Happens Live, and Tom tells everyone that he is aware of this drinking game that's going around, where wherever Schwartz touches his face, you're supposed to take a drink.
I saw that there's like a little drinking game that got spawned because of this. Every time Schwartz touches his face, you drink. We're prepared to be sober. I got wrist weights on.
People think it's his tell, like when he's lying or, telling an untruth. It didn't really work. It helped maybe a little bit, but we still saw him going after it. So Andy asks, we just finished the episode where we see Schwartz and Raquel kiss at the very end, and he's asking Schwartz if the kiss was worth it. What did you think of his answer?
I don't know. I mean, he basically says it wasn't. At the time, maybe he thought it was, but now, looking back, he regrets it.
Yeah, it seemed like he got a lot of blowback from that kiss, I think especially from Katie. And so kind of sounds like it wasn't worth it to him, but he also still claims that it was a real kiss and it wasn't, a decoy. They weren't, well, at least he was not in on some master plan to distract from the affair.
So that leads me to Andy's next question, because once we talk about the kiss, he goes right into Sandoval, and he is asking the question we all want to know. When did Schwartz find out about the affair? And Schwartz comes out and says that Sandoval told him about it in August.
I learned in late August, about the affair. The one-night stand.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
After what he believes to be a one-night stand. And then the word salad just starts.
And then, what happened in the fall, there's a lot of gray area there. Apparently not, though. I didn't think it was a linear thing.
And Tom is saying all these things. Sandoval's having a midlife crisis. And he's basically just, he gives us a straight answer, but it's a little jumbled and there are a lot of details in between the actual facts.
I only know
I'm
what
getting
I was
a word
told.
salad from you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this whole time he's been claiming that he didn't know about it until January. And Andy is like, wait a minute, you told me at the reunion that you found out in January. And so Schwartz kind of is like, well, listen, I found out in August that there was a one-night stand, or what he thought was a one-night stand. He's like, then Sandoval came to me in January and said, I'm in love with Raquel.
He came to me in January, and he told me that he's in love with Raquel.
He told you.
So I just want to understand, so you think between August and January, nothing happened, nothing was going on? You didn't think to ask Tom, hey, have you hooked up with her again? I don't know. It's just he's asking us to suspend so much belief here. But he claims he thought they were, having basically an emotional affair, which he does say is still inappropriate, but he didn't think it was physical. And when he found out in January that, they were in love.
Your reaction was?
I was flabbergasted.
He says he's flabbergasted. So Schwartz didn't think it was linear progression.
Yeah, linear. We seem to hear that word a lot.
What does this word linear mean?
Well,
and I'm not sure that it's an excuse, but that's Tom Schwartz for you, not quite making sense all of the time. Then he says that after January, the affair was basically like an open secret.
It was an open secret. It was an open secret.
What was an open secret?
Tom and Raquel, like they were
Really?
What does he even mean by that? I mean, first of all, those two words basically contradict each other. So what does he mean by open secret? It's like, obviously Tom Schwartz knew. Did other people know? I've heard like rumors maybe Tom's band knew because Raquel was coming to all the shows. And like, I guess he said at that point, Tom kind of got brazen.
After that, I mean, Tom kind of got flagrant.
He got flagrant about it and like wasn't even really trying to hide it.
Yeah, and I think that's what he means by open secret, is that he wasn't even trying to be careful really at that point. You know, we hear that they went out in Big Bear. We saw like the receipts from someone, a fan who spotted them at a bar in Big Bear together. So it seemed like he was kind of just letting it out. Maybe like he wanted to get caught. Schwartz also tells us that he was being fed a narrative that Sandoval had tried to break up with Ariana several times.
By the way, just for the record, I'm being fed a narrative that he has broken up with Ariana or attempted to multiple times.
Okay.
Many, many times.
He told him that, you know, he had a game plan of how to get out of the relationship with Ariana, and he just kind of kept procrastinating. But my question here is like, aren't Schwartz and Ariana friends too? Like, did they not see each other between August and January and like this never came up? You know, don't you think like if your best friend is telling you that he's breaking up with his girlfriend and you're also friends with that girlfriend, like that would come up?
Of course it would come up. Their entire friend group, you know, unlike other Bravo shows, they're real friends and they hang out and they spend time with each other. So you would think that Schwartz would definitely know if Tom and Ariana would actually broke up, right? He keeps saying that
they were filming during this time too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that that's an excuse. I mean, he says he kept thinking that they were going to come clean. And it just never happened. And he thinks that Sandoval like took advantage of his kindness.
It's her close
I'm more
friend.
upset with Sandoval because he took advantage of my kindness.
Because Schwartz, let's be real, he is not a dominant personality. He's extremely submissive. Tom Sandoval he's basically like Tom Sandoval's puppet. So if Tom Sandoval tells him to do something or that he's going to do, like I think Schwartz is just going to blindly believe it and like did not really question it.
I agree. So then he goes on to say that Sandoval has an infatuation with Raquel.
Now, honestly, he became obsessed. He's notorious for having one singular obsession.
He's like, Tom has ADHD, and when he gets on something, like he is on it. He has a singular obsession, and right now that obsession is Raquel.
He's addicted. It's an infatuation of all infatuations.
He goes as far to call it an addiction.
Raquel is Tom's heroine.
And then he kind of realizes like, wait, I don't want to minimize, you know, people who are actually struggling with addiction.
Do you think it's as bad as heroin?
I mean, maybe that's not a good analogy. Okay, can I start over?
So he kind of backtracks that, but he says he's lost in the sauce.
Man, he got lost in the sauce.
Which kind of gave me like a gross visual, but I understand what he's saying. He's just infatuated with the girl.
Yeah, I don't know. And that it kind of disgusts me. I don't see how anybody could really be like addicted to somebody like that. But hey, I don't know. Maybe they're meant for each other. So we also tried to get to the bottom of this timeline when Schwartz was making out with Raquel and when he found out, because Sheena's wedding was August 23rd. Schwartz said he found out about the affair in late August. So did he know about this when he was making out with Raquel?
So you made out with her, and then you found out that they had slept together, and you said to him what?
Yeah, I was like, well, was it before or after we made out? I would like to know.
I don't know. We honestly didn't really get to the bottom of that. I have questions. We will cover them in our Vanderpump Rules recap too, but I have some theories about when he found out and why that kiss happened the way it did and when it did.
So, okay. So everyone make sure to catch that recap. He still claims that the kiss would have happened even if the cameras weren't there. So I feel like Tom Schwartz was maybe feeling it. I don't know if Raquel had maybe an ulterior motive. He did talk about the Big Bear trip and kind of say like Tom smuggled Raquel in. He was kind of under the impression that Ariana and him were broken up. And, you know, then they kind of talk about the reunion a bit. He says Ariana had a fire in her. Everyone was just going after them.
Oh, you guys. I have never seen such a ruthless denunciation of two human beings in my life.
We hear that, you know, within the first 5 minutes, it was just explosive. Emotions were at an all-time high. We know there was a physical altercation between people. We don't know who yet. Sources are now saying it was Sandoval and James. I can totally see that making sense. And I don't know. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, he said that Tom got eviscerated.
And she eviscerated those two, and I've never seen anything like that. I didn't know she had it in her. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
And I cannot wait to see that happen. You know, he says that Raquel got heat, but not as much as Tom.
Raquel took some blows, but yeah, Tom got just eviscerated.
Which I think is so deserved. You know, we all hate Raquel, but really, who's to blame here is Tom Sandoval. So, I mean, I just want to see Ariana rip him apart. And I think that's what we're going to get. So after Tom Schwartz basically makes a complete fool of himself, Andy asks if he has any final words. And the ones that he shares is to go give Tom Sandoval a hug.
If you see him, maybe give him a hug. Even if he doesn't deserve it, give him a hug. He's down bad.
Okay.
That basically, you know, he's not into the mob mentality. We need to give him a break. He's down bad, and we just need to go give him a hug. Which, really, Schwartz, that's what you want to say?
Yeah, no thanks. I really don't think I want to give Tom Sandoval a hug. Listen, I don't wish anything harmful, you know, come to him, but I really don't want to be giving him a hug. I don't think he deserves any hugs right now. And then Andy also asks, like, do you think that they're going to make it as a couple? Does he think Sandoval and Raquel are in it for the long term? And this is probably one of my favorite answers of the night. You know, Schwartz is like, oh, I've been thinking about this a lot.
I think it'll be a miracle if they make it.
I know they really care about each other.
But like, even in the short time that they've been in love or whatever you want to call it, it's become toxic. And I don't know if it's sustainable.
You have everyone in America thinking that you're scumbags. You know, that puts a lot of pressure on it.
I think it's too much.
And he's like, I don't know. I think it's doomed. And then he takes half a second and says,
but we'll see if love prevails. We'll see.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised? You're so funny.
And it was just so funny. And Andy was like,
Well, I'm gonna give you some tips after the show. Okay.
I think by tips he meant media training. And listen, as Tom Schwartz's publicist, I would say, yes, let's get you into that media training school with Andy Cohen right away. As a fan, no thank you. I have no notes for Tom Schwartz's performance tonight. I think it was perfection. We want all of his word vomit. We love his inability to stop talking. Like, it's mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah, Tom Schwartz, never change. We love you just the way you are. And even though we're pissed off at you right now for lying and knowing about this for months, I do agree. This was an epic Watch What Happens Live. He spilled the tea, even more tea than I think we might be getting at the reunion. Even Andy was surprised at points. So I loved every second of it, and I can't wait for the reunion. So guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
So excited to see it come out.
Stay tuned for our Vanderpump Rules recap, which will be coming soon. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more Bravo breaking news or recaps to come.